How would a police officer call you a good guy after traveling about 2 hours of a stretch of highway from Stockton, California, all the way to Fairfield? Listen, folks, I'm not the brightest bulb. I know that. But one thing I'm not is I'm not a drug addict, and I'm not a pill addict either. July 17th, I made it fine. After 3 months of intense seeking medical attention, over 12 emergency room visits, I finally get my second visit to the neurosurgeon. 10 o'clock, Travis Air Force Base, Fairfield, California, Thursday, July 17th. I made it on time. I was fine. Was I tired? Yeah. 2.5 hours of sleep. That's what I average on. Do I still have shit in my system? Probably. Stuff that's been given to me that some of it I won't even take. But my question is, was I stoned, or was I under the influence of, as the police officer had said, that maybe I had fentanyl in my system? I knew that I could not pass any sobriety test because I'm not good with numbers. I'm not good with my balance. On top of that, I'm hurting. I'm tired. I want to get to my appointment. I'm already late. I'm looking at the doctor. I was trying to call. And one of the pretenses for stopping me was, and I'll mention it here, you know, I have a peace pipe and I have gummies that I keep in my car. And unfortunately, that might have had some kind of an odor to it. But that's basically out of the situation at this point when they pull me out of my vehicle. They block my car, they throw this metal X in front of my car, they take my keys. I don't felt I was being rough handled. But when I was surrounded by about 5 officers, and one of them being a Marine, an ex-Marine, you know, I'm a veteran. He's a veteran. I fully cooperated. I offered to give my blood. I said, listen, he said, a breathalyzer? I said, no, you can take my blood. I got nothing to hide, man. I wouldn't have made it this far here. Do you know where I came from? You know that drive? You know how alert you have to be to get from Stockton to Fairfield? Through those 2-lane highways and construction zones and trucks and all the stuff that goes on from Fairfield all the way through. It's about an hour drive, and usually it can take anywhere from 2 hours. It's about 45 minutes actually, and it can take you up to 2 hours or more sometimes. Most of the time, it's a pretty treacherous drive. I made it to the gate fine. I didn't pass part of a sobriety test. Part. Tired. I've got all these things going on. I felt out of element. I felt that I was in a different type of environment. I felt like I had been moved out of my vehicle where I was in my own element. But then I started feeling very hazy. I started feeling kind of something doesn't feel right. Something's wrong here. It's almost like I was being treated like a criminal, like a drug addict. Oh, he's one of the good guys, the police officer said. Why would you tell one of the good guys that you're not going to arrest him? Tow his vehicle, have him cause financial hardship. After all I went through that morning, getting up at 5:30, 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, I was tired. I wasn't completely coherent. These guys were, I felt like I was being bombarded. Like, there was one officer next to me, I was asking him a question, and he looked at me with a staunch look like, you know, like, again, like I was a criminal or something. I did the best that I could. They threw me in the tank. Yeah, good. Your husband is one of the good guys. He's one of the good guys. You're only going to be in there for 4 hours. I got thrown in the tank. I was in there for, I think, over 7 hours. And then released. My car got impounded. I didn't know where. No keys, nothing, no information. Just, here, sign this and go through those doors. And out you go into the freezing cold. In the middle of nowhere. I don't know Fairfield. I've been there twice, I think, to the Air Force base. Now I'm banned from the base, or at least driving on the base, not banned from the base. And I get released, and I'm completely lost. I go lay down in front of a fire department. I asked the fire department to give me a tarp to go lay down on the cement because that was the only comfort that I got that day. Mind you, I was there for a neurology appointment to see a neurological surgeon, neurosurgeon. I've been waiting 3 months for that appointment. I got there on time, 9:30. I was starting to get detained at 9:30. Detained and questioned, and was made to become disorientating. I do feel that my civil rights were violated because I wasn't under the influence. Not at that moment, not earlier. So I offered the blood test. So, I'm paying a financial price for this. Is there a lesson to be learned here? There's a lesson to be learned here. And did I deserve this? Maybe some of it, but I don't think I deserved all of it. You don't throw good guys in jail. You don't mess good guys up and then tell them that you're going to be there, as a police officer, you're going to get 4 hours and then you get let out, basically thrown out into the street with no clothes on, no keys, with nothing. That's just plain cold, man. Plain cold. I could see if I was a drug addict or a pill popper, or if I was completely inebriated on alcohol or just completely stoned out of my gourd or something like that. But that wasn't the case at all. I believe that officer made a big mistake by not listening to me, telling him ahead of time that I was going to fail that sobriety test because of my conditions. And on top of that, I was freezing cold and I'm anemic. So I'm trembling and they're looking at me like, well, yeah, So anyhow, that's my story. And am I going to talk to a civil rights attorney? I'm going to look for one. I don't know if anybody will see this video and even pay attention, but I'm 59 years of age. I was headed for a neurological appointment. I've got possible surgery that's needed. And my tailbone and my lower spine is also affected by all of this. And that whole day just totally, not only really kind of gave me some trauma to the mind, but also to my tailbone. So I'm still feeling the effects of all of that cement that I had to sit on or stand on or lay on July 17th.